Boom, hello and welcome. Giant ape. I guess we're just going to gesture with shadow. Giant ape. Knife hands. Other people. Jawbreakers. Okay, you can actually look at my finger. I'll just point. There it is. Alright, cool. Let me get over here in a more convenient and comfortable position to discuss Jawbreakers. Specifically, well, there's like 3 different stories in here, 2 of which are part of the same story, which is unfinished. And then this third one, the Ethan Van Sciver cover, pretty nice. Look at the attention to detail, how lovingly rendered all of this stuff is. It's pretty. It is super pretty. I guess before I get into the book itself, we got to talk about a little bit about the controversy. There's this stuff with Mark Waid, and he got this book to be not published, and so it got self-published by Splato Comics instead of Antarctic Press. There's a lawsuit and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not going to go into that. Then there's the shipping fiasco. I don't know how well you can see it here. In real life, it's pretty obvious. This corner has been, like, sanded down, and that's because of the packaging. This corner's kind of beat up, too. And on the back, this corner's kind of got it. It's a little weird. It's absolutely a little weird. The mailer it was put in was strange. Anyway, I sent an email to Richard Meyer saying, hey, if, you know, after you take care of other people's replacements, maybe send one my way. I'm not super upset about it. Maybe I should be, because it looks like I bought a used book, but it doesn't bother me too much. Now, got all that out of the way. Let's open it up to the pages that everybody saw for the Indiegogo. That looks pretty good, don't it? I like John Malin's art. He's got a pretty nice dynamicism most of the time. Now, there's some stuff you can nitpick, like what is going on with this hand? What is going on with this hand? Like, you can start picking stuff apart. In fact, I think hands are kind of his weakness. Alright, so anyway, the plot is they go to Africa, they're going to get a new base. Some people are, ladies like, yo, this giant monkey, yo. Look how lovingly rendered the giant monkey is here. John Malin did a great job on that monkey. Silk looks pretty good here too. Cuffs looks pretty good up there. It's kind of dark. Hold on. This is going to jiggle the camera in the picture a little bit. I'm going to just raise it up a little. I really need something that's not spring balanced. I think that looks a little better. You can see a little more of the page. There's a little less shadow on the top. The monkey looks good. Every panel with this monkey looks freaking good. So they fight the monkey, and they defeat it. And there's this silliness with this giant eyeball rolling around that... oh my gosh. Are we ever going to find the giant eyeball? Hold on. Right here. Yeah, there we go. Giant eyeball. Like, it's silly. And it's kind of fun in a very interesting way. Their romance is one whirlwind romance. You can tell this is like meant to be like an action movie. Oh my god. Somehow I missed that he went, yeah boy. When I'm reading this, man, I could not put this down. I devoured this whole story. Even with Phantom, like, hopping around and clacking around my feet. There's the bad guy. Little warlord. He's got like 100-something dudes. Some trucks, some cars. Naturally, there's a big fight. Which leads to a page like this. Oh my goodness! Oh! I love it. A lot of this stuff is really pretty. When stuff isn't pretty is when John Malin gets like super like sketchy. Like, these dudes are way too lanky in some of these shots. And you could see some of this stuff in his Cable run too. Now, this dude just looks weird, but I think it's kind of explained that magic makes him look weird. Anyway, it's very satisfying. There's lots of fighting and carnage and good stuff. let's go on. There's 3 stories. So that was the first one. The second story, Jawbreakers 1 with remastered art. And I don't know how remastered it was. I remember I saw the original art for this thing. It's kind of underwhelming. It was black and white except for one red panel on every page, which is kind of a weird gimmick. But I kind of like the way this looks. It looks like very 80s indie. It actually really feels like G.I. Joe, for better or worse. You got like super manly dudes being super manly, and it's just a pretty good little story. There's some fighting, they're rescuing some girls, stopping this dude here who kidnapped them. Ninjas attack, of course, come on. It's supposed to be based on like an 80s action movie, so naturally ninjas attack. Then we set up for the next story, and I'm just going to skip right there. Also, look at the borders of this. It's kind of hard to tell maybe on the camera, but the pages, they're yellowed and dirty. It actually looks pretty cool in person. It's more subtle than I thought it should be. Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth with these guys talking smack at each other and stuff. It feels good. It feels like Predator or something, you know, where you've got like super manly dude, and how do they greet each other? You know, it's not hello, it's you son of a bitch. Like, it's good. Very enjoyable. And this is probably my favorite part. Jawbreakers Book 2, the 3rd section of this, with this Kelsey Shannon art that's absolutely gorgeous. Every page is a feast for the eyes. I like this even better than the John Malin art over here. I mean, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Except sometimes the anatomy is wrong. Okay, his posing feels a little overly dynamic. It's like wrapped around to looking stiff again. But otherwise, I really like this stuff. Like this, right here. His little silk hang gliders disintegrating behind him. He's here firing with his gun. The monkey's a little upset. And look at those teeth! Look at the teeth! They look great. The monkey looks great. The grass, the eyeball, like, the only thing he messes up on is the hands. Oh, you know what? Let me find that panel everybody is mocking. It's not even that bad. Yeah, I think it's this one. Everybody online is like mocking this panel because the dude's hand. It's not that bad. What looks bad is the one in the background there. When it gets all thin and super sketchy and detailless. When there's details, I mean, he's got some swollen, probably arthritic knuckles here. He's a super skinny dude. Like, he's obviously, like, malformed as a person. So his hand should be a little malformed. Now, maybe looking at this, I noticed that it's not entirely consistent, but that could also be because the foreshortening of the finger coming out is applied a little too strongly on this. Let's see. Let's look at this. The forefinger bulges out a lot more than this knuckle does over here. But over here, they're reversed. So maybe there's a little posing difference. But it ain't bad. Like, if that's the worst panel you can find in this book, that's pretty good. Maybe I should go get X-Men Black Emma Frost out and show you what bad art actually looks like, where somebody's leg is literally a straight line, and a straight line that's got an angle like that. So the leg is now like a triangle with a foot stuck on the bottom. That's not how anatomy works. Nobody's leg. Look, no, I'm not going to show my leg on stream. That would be weird. But legs aren't completely straight. There's slight bulges and stuff, you know. Your calf muscle does not make a triangle with the rest of your leg. That's not how anatomy works. Human necks, when you draw like the head's this big, the neck should not be the same size as the head. Like, people do not have giraffe necks. Emma Frost in that book had a giraffe neck. It's disorienting. It's not very good. This Kelsey Shannon art, though, every panel, yeah, you can look at this and it's a little cartoony. It's a little cartoony, and that's fine. I was eating this up, man. I was loving this stuff. The plot in the previous book sets up this mission that they go on to kill the God King in New York, and he's this guy who's stolen everyone's powers, and so he's using it to control the entire city. Like, this dude used to be a crime lord, now he sells hot dogs because he can't do evil anymore. The art's dynamic. Who did the coloring? Hold on. Is that by Kelsey Shannon on the back? Is it listed on the front page here? I'm only taking the book away to try not to show everything, because I don't want to show all the pages, because that would be rude. Oh, Kelsey Shannon must have done the coloring himself. It's awesome stuff. Also, while I'm here, signature! I can't imagine signing my name that many times. I had enough trouble, like, grading 100 tests back when I was in the professorate. Look at this art, man. Clear homage, like crazy cosmic Kirby stuff here, and it's gorgeous. This Kelsey Shannon art is the real treat. It's the real highlight of this book. Oh, just eating it up. The plot here is pretty good, and they leave us off on a cliffhanger, man. Look, they leave us off on a cliffhanger. Some dudes barge in, and there's nothing. We're done. That's the end of the book. Oh. So at the beginning, we've got like an action movie. Then there's like the G.I. Joe chapter. And then we're setting up for like what feels like the real story. And it's not there. There's no real story, you know? I'm ready for it. We like got into the first act of the real story. Maybe the midpoint. Let's see. Yeah, we've met the mystic mentor in the hero's journey. So now we've gone into the underworld, and now, yeah, so we're over here in the hero's journey, in the coming back to reality. So we're in like the last half, at least, of the story, and it ends. Dude, why wasn't Jawbreakers book 3 the next, whatever. I kind of liked it. I'm very satisfied with my purchase, even given the shipping weirdness. I've never seen something just get sanded off like that in shipping, or roughed off, or whatever. Like, I'm amazed that the whole cover isn't just kind of chewed up like that. And it's just mostly these bottom corners. This corner got a little bit of it, but not too bad at all. It's a pretty good book. If I'm honest, the story in the first part like didn't do a lot for me. This was the writing just kind of served to move the action along, and that's all there was there. It's much more interesting in the back half of the book when we get to the Jawbreakers book 1 and 2 material. And boy, I know if I ever have a project, I want to get Kelsey Shannon to do the art. If you haven't seen Kelsey Shannon's work on Mighty Crusaders from Archie last year or so, it's pretty. Those 4 issues, and there needed to be more than just those 4 issues, are some of the most gorgeous things I've laid eyes on. Ian Flynn did an alright job writing that. But that's getting kind of far afield for Jawbreakers. I really don't have any complaints. I wish this had not had nearly as much drama around it as it does. Drama kind of takes away from producing cool stuff. And, you know, look at the fingers right here. I realize this is a cover piece and it's a different artist, but look at all the time and energy that Ethan Van Sciver spent on these fingers. Look, even back here, you can kind of see maybe some little details, like the fingers aren't just 2 straight lines. I feel like there's a knuckle on some of these. Okay, his fingers just kind of like an idea as opposed to real fingers, but like look here. And then we flip in here to something from John Malin. Let's find a panel where somebody's got fingers kind of in. Well, we don't even have to go that far. We can literally just go back to like this page right here and look. Like that is a huge difference in quality from the cover to that. Just in the level of detail in the rendering of the fingers. I guess that's kind of John Malin's fingers are the weakest part of the book. I like Richard Meyer's writing. I find it fast. It just tends to move. I know he got roasted for his scripts, which is totally legit. If you think about it, they're not really that great, but they serve the project well in that they keep things moving. And I'm just gonna start repeating myself now, so I'm just gonna shut up. You have a great day out there. Take it easy. Hopefully you'll be able, if you want Jawbreakers and you didn't back Indiegogo, you'll be able to get it somehow. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I sure hope you can. It was a lot of fun to read. Well, it was a lot of fun to look at in the first part, and then the last part was a lot of fun to read. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Bye-bye.